Okay. Good morning, everybody. So I forgot to rotate my camera this morning. So I will use the floor and also the wall. Okay. All right. I think that should be okay. So I hope you are doing well. If you have questions as we go, then please type them in the little box. So this is an unlisted link, so which means it won't just appear if you do a random search on YouTube, but you can always click on it and go back to it whenever you want to redo this foam roller session. If you lost the link, just send me a note and I'll send it back to you. So you'll need a foam roller today. I also have a yoga tune-up ball. So if you have, we'll use the foam roller, but for under the feet, I find my foam roller is kind of big, and so it still works, but I like the foam roller. We're going to start from the feet, and we're going to go up. And today, we're going to also use the foam rolling, not just for the release of the muscles, but foam rolling is great for fascia and lymphatic drainage. So we're going to use, there's pretty similar than what you would normally do, just one little difference. And so this helps in increasing blood flow and helps in eliminating waste in your body. So we'll get going. So grab your foam roller, and if you have one, either lacrosse ball or yoga tune-up ball. If you don't, I'll start with the foam roller and then I'll switch to the ball, and so you can use one or the other. Whatever foam roller you have is good. So I don't see your faces here. Just make sure that you're not in pain. So foam rolling should be a little bit uncomfortable, not painful. So if the uncomfortable is making you make a face, then you're going too hard with your foam rolling session. And basically, if you're going, oh, this is really painful, but it feels good, well, your muscles are tensing at that point, and it's kind of, you're fighting against your body to release it. So let's try to not hurt ourselves. All right, so we're going to start with our feet. I wore my muscle pants today because I'll talk about different areas later. So for your feet, so I apologize in advance so that you can see everything. You might miss my head or my feet at some point. But okay, so we're going to start with our feet, and we're going to use the foam roller just on the floor, and you're going to roll from the front to the back. And you can put a little bit of pressure here. I'm going to do it this way. So from the front of your foot, and you're going to press going forward, and then you're going to release the pressure. Bring the foam roller back, put the pressure on, and going forward. Release the pressure. You're going to do the same thing if you have a ball. And so I'm going to do my other foot. So you do 3 to 5 per side. My other foot, I'm just going to roll it a little bit in tiny circles. We're going towards the heel, trying to get each little part of my foot again so it feels nice to the heel. And then remove the pressure, bring it back. Again, going forward. You can go in a nice slow motion. So with the ball, it's smaller, so you can do about 2 to 3 passes under your foot, depending on the size of the ball. So I find I can do 3, so I can go to the edge of the foot. So you can do little circles, or going from the front to the back in lines. Adding the pressure that feels nice for your foot today. So make sure you did change foot. If you haven't yet, you go on the other one. And I always go, whenever I do a foam rolling session, if you have the time, I go for the full body and not just the part that is bothering me. And the reason for that is your muscles are all, like your fascia is tissue that is covering your whole body. It's all attached together. And then your muscles are attached, like they're all connected. And so if you're only focusing on that point, you might actually not be doing that part any good. It could, because the pain in your hamstrings, for example, could come from the fact that your quads are really tight and it's pulling your hip bone forward. It could pull your hip bone up. And so I just lighten the back here and pulling your knee up together. So this is really tight. So it's pulling on your hamstrings all the time. They feel tight, but really we need to release the quads so that this can come back to its normal position. So it's good to do the whole body so you can actually get to that point. Typically pain in one area is an indicator of something going on lower or higher. So we did our feet. We're going to go on the floor and do the calves. The calves are pretty easy to do on the floor. And so if you have a hard time, please type it and I will modify for you. So we're going to sit on the floor. I'm just going to put the foam roller in front. Hands behind me. I'm just going to roll it forward. I'm going to slide forward. So my pants are kind of slippery and my floor too. So if you have a wooden floor, that could work. So here you're going to remove the pressure before you roll it up. And then again, starting at the heel and then going forward, little pressure. Now your calf is pretty big. So mine is anyways. So it's a pretty big muscle. So now I just did the back. I want to do each side. So I'm going to rotate my leg to the side and I'm going to apply a little pressure and rolling forward. Again, this should feel kind of nice. No pressure coming back, pressing forward. And coming back. I'm going to go to the other side. So then I'm rotating. This is a little bit more awkward. So you can open up this leg, rotate this one, and then roll it out to the side. So I'm kind of extending my leg, bring it in, bending my knee, pressing forward. I'm going to do the other leg, and so you'll see a different angle. So I'm going to go and switch leg. So the leg here, I'm just going to press down and rolling forward and release. Again, rolling forward. Good. And release the pressure. Then I'm going towards you right away. So I'm moving this leg here and dropping my knee a little bit. If you have any pain as we're going through this in another area, again, don't push through that because your body's going to focus on that and will have a hard time releasing. So adjust. It could be a little bit less pressure, a little bit less of an angle, and that's okay. So we're going to go forward, extending the leg, release the pressure, roll it back. So if you don't want to bother with the lymphatic drainage, then you can put the pressure on the way back up as well. So if you're just wanting to release a sore muscle, you can just do the pressure going forward and back. So I'm going here for the lymphatic drainage at the same time. I have to be honest here. I foam rolled the last time when I did the foam rolling workshop. So I don't do it very often. So I figure I don't feel really any pain or discomfort in my muscle on a regular basis. I've said it before, but I blame it on eccentrics. But then for the lymphatic drainage, this is going to be helpful, so that I'm going to focus on that. Now, for the front of your legs, you can roll the foam roller on the front of your legs. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to grab the foam roller and press up. And I have a little angle to the side. So if you're looking here, I have the bone right on top, so I don't want to roll on the bone. I want to get the muscles here on the sides. I don't know if you can see, nice and white. And here on this side, there's the muscle. On the other side, you can feel them. It's a little bit softer, right? So I'm going to flex my foot, rotate it a little bit, and then grab the foam roller and roll it up. So if that's not enough for you, so you can do two, and then rotate towards the other side, and then bring it in towards you. Okay, let's do that again. So I'm going to do the other leg with leaning on the foam roller. So you can keep going with that, or you can go on the floor, and then here I'm going to have the inside of my leg. So it's opened a little bit, and I'm going to slide the foam roller between your feet, and then I'm going to be on all four and roll it out. And here I can add a little bit more pressure to that. I'm going to bring it in, no pressure, and I'm going to roll it out. Good. Whenever I do the other side, then I'm going to rotate it to the outside a little bit. So I'm going to cross over. Foot is here, knee goes back, hands in front, and then here I'm going to bring that leg in and roll it out towards the other. Release the pressure and then roll it out. I'm going to do the other leg. So the inside is pretty easy. So on all four, hand down, open up your leg like a fire hydrant. Move and then rolling it out. And then bring it in, no pressure, and then rolling it out. Towards the knee, then I'm going to move that in. I'm going to cross, because I want to get this side of my leg. So I'm going to cross this over, hands in front, and then I'm going to bring it down. So again, if you're finding that you can do the other side in this position on all four, then go for it. And if this side you have a hard time, then you can sit and roll the foam roller on your leg. Okay, so we're at our quads and hamstrings. So if you've had issues with your hamstring, we just roll these, which are attached to, basically connected with your hamstring, right? Because they're all attached to these same bones. So releasing those and your calves could help release your hamstrings as well. So going on the quad, I'm going to go on the wall to start and then on the floor. So on the wall, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to have my knee up and I'm going to roll it down. And you can do a little section, bring that knee up, pressing it down. Release the pressure. So this way you can add as much pressure as you want. And you can do the bottom part and bring the foam roller up and then do the top part. Okay, so just little movements. So feel free to go on the wall if you need to. If you find this is not enough, then we can go on the floor. I have another variation too. So I didn't have the workshop, but I have a bench in my entryway, which I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, so sorry if this is moving a little bit. So I'm going to turn it slowly around. So I have this little wood bench in my entranceway, and so I could use that to roll as well. Now I don't want to put pressure on it because it's on my foam mat, but so I'm going to use a foam cover block. So it's a big foam thing, a foam step, and so I'm going to use that today. But you can use, if you have a solid coffee table or a bench, you could also use that. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back so we can see everything. The wall, the floor, and my bench. So if this is too much and you have a bench available, then you could go on the bench and hands are here. You're going to put your knee on it and then you're going to roll it out. Okay, so coming in and then rolling it out. So I'm doing the front of my leg first. So this way is a little bit easier than on the floor. I'm going to go on the floor for the others though. So then I want to do the side of my quads as well. So on the inside, you're going into like a little plank position, leg rotated out, and then you're going to roll towards your inner thigh. And release. And then rolling towards your inner thigh. So I find the foam roller is slipping whenever I roll, so I'm helping it out to roll it as well. So then for the outside, I'm going to go into like a side plank position. Again, you can go on the wall or on your table. So I'm here and then I'm helping my foam roller. I'm controlling it going sideways. And release the pressure, coming up, rolling up, going sideways. Good, let's do the other leg. So the front, again, feel free to go on the wall. So I'm going to be right here on one knee and then applying the pressure that I need, rolling it back. And I'm going to go all the way up here to my hip and then release the pressure, readjust, and rolling it up. So I know I'm talking at the same time. Typically I have time to do about 2 per side. If you have time to do 3, go for it. So then I'm going to go on the inside. I'm going to put my hand here to control my foam roller because with these pants, it's really slippery. So you're on all 4 into that fire hydrant position again, and you're rolling out towards the inside of the hip. And release. And then again, good, and release. And we're going to go on the inside. So, hand here, I'm going to go into a side type plank, but this leg, my other leg is up so that it's nice and solid. So I'm kind of on almost in a table position here, and I'm going to lift that knee off the floor and roll it. Release the pressure and roll. So you don't want to put too much pressure here. We're pretty close to the IT band, right? So people have been trying to roll their IT band, and it's super painful. But really, my IT band is just a little tiny muscle up here, and then this, it's attached here, this big band of connective tissues going to my knee. So rolling my connective tissue is really unpleasant, and really it doesn't do that much if you're especially if you're in pain. So you can roll on that area, just keep it pain-free. And then we're gonna go into our hamstrings. So your hamstrings, same thing. You can go on the wall. So if the floor is a little too intense and you have a hard time holding that position, you're gonna bring that up and put some pressure and roll it down. And release up, rolling it down. Okay, same thing, you can use your coffee table or bench. So here, I'll go on this other leg. So I'm going to go, actually I'm going to sit on my bench here. So you're going to go and roll it forward. Little section, release, little section. Okay, so then you can also go on the wall for this one. So I did, and you're gonna have, if you're on your bench, you're gonna have to do a couple sections. So on the floor, you're gonna apply the pressure that you want. This leg is nice and solid, so adjust where your foam roller is so you are kind of comfortable. And then you're gonna roll it forward. And I'm gonna go all the way to the end of my hamstring, release the pressure, bring it back up, and going forward all the way out. Now your hamstring, there's a lot of muscles behind your leg, not just one. So we're gonna roll a little bit off to the side again, and then do the same thing. So going this way. Again, this leg is nice and solid on the floor so that you can put pressure. If you have issues with your wrist, you can use a foam block in your hand. You're going to be a little bit higher. So lifting up and going to the side. Good, and release. So I'm going to grab my foam block and show you the variation. So then we're going to go on a little bit on the inside. So I'm going to be at the end of my foam roller. Again, I'm going to put that open leg. And we're going to try to go a little bit more on the inside here. So whatever angle you need to find here with your leg, I've got my hand on the foam roller. I'm going to go out, bring it in, and go out, and bring it in. Then I'm going to bring that foam roller up because that was almost a split that's going into, and I can't do a split, so I'm going to bring it up, do that other little section towards the center. Okay, other leg. So feel free to go on the wall, on your table. Again, if you have questions, feel free to write it down. So on the back of the leg, and I'm just going to roll towards the midline. Release the pressure, and again, roll and release the pressure. Going on the inside, so you can use your foam block here to help. So we'll do the outside after, but so you're gonna go over towards the inside, and this is a big movement here, and it's uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna do a little section, release, bring it, good, release, and I'm gonna move towards my foam roller, or bring the foam roller up, and then roll towards the inside, release, roll towards the center. Good, and then I'm gonna go on the outside of my hamstring. Sorry, trying to figure out what is the best way to show you at the same time. So I'm going to use the foam block here. I'm going to lift up and here and going out towards the hip. And release the pressure and rolling towards the hip. Okay. So then we're going to move up to the glutes. So we're going to try and roll the whole area. So we're going to sit on the foam block. Again, you can do those standing. So you're kind of rolling up and down the wall. You can use a foam block if you need to for your hand. We're going to sit on the foam roller. So I'm sitting right in the middle and I'm going to rotate to one side. I'm just going to roll gently towards the low back. Release the pressure. So here, I'm going to turn the other way so you can see. So I'm using, that didn't work. Yes, I'm using this hand to control. So I'm going over. This hand is controlling the foam roller so that it's not slipping faster than I want it to. Release. I'm going to roll a little bit more towards the center, and then again, going forward towards the heart and release the pressure and towards the heart. I'm going towards the low back and then release. Then we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to roll a little bit off to this side. I'm going to control the foam roller, going towards the center and release the pressure towards the center. Release the pressure. Let's do a little bit more. So a little bit more rotation towards the center. Now after the glutes, you got a big section that your muscles, so my glutes are stuck against my hips. So that's what you're massaging them against. And then if I move up, there's really no structure except the spine supporting those muscles. So we're gonna skip that area. And if you're looking for a low back release, I can show you one towards the end, but you can do that on a different day with the ball, because we don't want to foam roll the low back here, because again, you're pressing against nothing or against your spine, and we don't want to have that. So we're gonna move up to just below your shoulder blades. And so here, I found on the floor not too bad. If you have long hair, I recommend that you tie them. I forgot to do that this morning, but sometimes they get caught. So here, I'm gonna lie down so that I'm on the foam roller. So just here, okay. And I'm gonna adjust my foam roller. So I'm gonna pull it in here, and then I can lift a little bit. I don't lift my hip. Depending on the pressure that I want on the foam roller, I can just slide my bum forward and push with my back, my shoulders gently against the foam roller. And then I'm gonna come up, or you can lift the hips. So I'm using my elbows here to control lifting the hips, rolling forward, release the pressure, coming up, and rolling forward. I'm going towards the neck, but I'm going to stop before here and come on up. Then we're going to do on the side a little bit. So just one side. And so this one you can roll it this way or this way. So try the different ways to find what you're comfortable with. So I'm just going to go on one shoulder. I'm going to roll up and release, and up, and release, and just push it, not pushing very hard here. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So here and up, and release the pressure. Okay, and then we're going to roll. So we want to roll towards the heart. So we're going to roll our hands and then move towards the center here. So arms are a little bit trickier to do. You can do them on the floor here and just roll them forward. Now if you have that bench, coffee table, still handy, you're going to roll on your table. So you're here, and then you're going to roll it forward gently. And then release. Again, you don't want to be in pain. There's a lot of tendons in here. I'm going to roll my hands this way, and then I'm going to press down. And release. And again. And release. I'm going to do one arm at a time because now I'm going to rotate it. So we're this way. I'm going to rotate it this way. And so it's a little bit more awkward. And so I'm just going to apply a little pressure and release. And again. And release. Other side. So if you're doing this, again, to release your muscles, again, if you have the time, I recommend doing your whole body. If you do have an area that is more tender than the other, then later on you can go back to it. So hands up. If you don't have time to do a full body, and if, for example, your hamstrings are bothering you, I would definitely, so my palms are facing up, I'm rolling the top of my arms, I would definitely do both legs, and I would do the lower leg, and the glutes on both sides, so that you can actually get to where the pain is coming from. And release. Okay, so then we're going to move up to the top here. So on the floor, this is a little bit awkward, so I'll show you one angle and then I'll show you the other arm. So here, I'm going to bring my arm down and I'm going to roll it towards my shoulder. So you can do that on your kitchen table, hand down and rolling it forward towards the center. And so I'm going to show you the other arm now. So I'm here, rotating forward, I'm rolling towards the center. Release, rolling towards the center. So this feels like you're not doing much, like especially because I'm asking you to stay out of pain, but you're helping all of the blood circulate into your body, right? So then we're going to go, so we did the inside, we're going to try and go on the outside. So I'm going to go here and then roll it out. This is a little bit, so you're going to find a position that works for you. And again, you're not being in pain. So if your shoulder is bugging you in one position, just skip that one. Sometimes it's just a little tiny difference in the angle. So if I'm here, it's painful, but if I'm here, it's not. So stay where it's comfortable to you. Even if you're not rolling like a specific little area, it's okay. If we can get all of them, it's better. But so in this one, I'm getting this. So I'll try and roll this way. So I'm going forward and getting into that arm. So then you've got this side, right? So you can be on the floor. I would recommend on the wall for this one. So we're going to be here, and standing is better. So I'm going to stand a little lower here so you can see. So I'm just going to roll it towards the shoulder. And so you can do it on the floor, but it's a little bit, like it's quite a bit of pressure because you're on your side. And let's do the other arm. So I'm going to face the wall, So here, and then rolling it down to the shoulder, release, and rolling it down. And you can do that one more time. Okay. I'm going to go on the floor for the next one. I'll show you on the table as well, just to go on the inside here. So just the, it's a little bit awkward to get into, but that's the last part that we're going to roll towards the center. So if I'm here, I'm going to bend forward and then roll it towards the center and try to get into all these muscles here on the chest. So you can do it on your coffee table or on the floor where you're into, you're lying down, and then you're placing this so that you can roll it towards the center of your body. And you're kind of rolling on it. And one more time, this side. Good, and let's do the other side. So again, whatever is more comfortable, do it on your table or on the floor. So I'm lying down, putting my arms on it, and then rolling towards the center. And again, and release in the center. Okay, and that's it. So you can finish off by a nice little release, laying back on your foam roller if you'd like. And so I'm going to go into that position and just chat with you for a second. So here the hardest part is to actually lie down on it. So I like to sit just off to the side, hands down, and then hands on the floor and place it so that you're in the middle. Now, I don't want to roll my spine down, so you're going to slowly go down. I'm a little bit off the side, so I'm not on the tailbone, because that's really unpleasant. And I'm going to place myself so that I'm in the middle of the block. Make sure you have the support for your head, that your head is not hanging off the end of your foam roller. So if you have a really short foam roller, make sure that you place it so your head is supported. And then knees are still bent. You're just going to relax here and let it open. So I hope this was helpful. And like I said, you might not feel like you did much today, but you did increase all of the blood circulation in your entire body, which will help in muscle recovery and lymphatic drainage. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you do need the little release for your back and you haven't seen it in the core workshop, just send me a little note. I like to just gently roll so that you're nice and relaxed, right? So you can stay there for a few more minutes. But when you're ready, slide your feet off to one side. Hand on the foam roller so it doesn't roll away from you. And then just slowly slide your hips to the side. And then you can use the foam roller to gently sit up. So you can look elegant getting off the foam roller. All right, have a great day.